Hi everybody, and welcome to this revision video on the strengths and weaknesses of the humanistic theory. This is part of the psychology of the individual topic for stage 2 psychology. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about the overall strengths and weaknesses of the humanistic theory according to both Rogers and Maslow. So it's talking about the strengths and weaknesses of both in this quick revision video. So let's start with the strengths. It has a very positive view of human nature, which has the potential to ensure clients feel safe. So this is obviously very relevant to Rogers' client-centered therapy. And it's got a very, again, positive view and warm, supportive approach, which again ensures the clients feel safe in talking therapy. Now we know the importance, again, of talking therapy in psychology today. It was Rogers who really pioneered the counseling approach in making clients feel very supportive and giving them unconditional positive regard so they feel safe, and we have Rogers to thank for that, and that's a huge positive of this theory. It was also, again, like I said, the foundation of counseling services and other talking therapies practiced today, so very, very important theory for its time. And the hierarchy of needs provides a positive model for people to aim for. So it really does give someone a literal structure of how to strive for excellence, according to Maslow, and gives them achievable goals to reach. Having said that, there are a lot of weaknesses scientifically of the humanistic theory. We would have gone through this in class, or we will go through this in class as well. Now, Maslow's approach, or developed his approach from predominantly white, well-educated and respected males, making it very skewed and biased. So if you watched my previous videos or you were listening in class and looked at the main PowerPoint, you'll know that he obviously did his research and based his research on brilliant people like Albert Einstein and so on. The problem is that the sample that he used was very, very narrow. So he used white, well-educated, respected males. So straight away, the foundation of the theory itself was based on a biased sample. So that's a real issue in terms of generalization and applicability to larger populations around the world that have socioeconomic difficulties. It doesn't explain, for example, why some of the most poorest countries that can't have their basic physiological needs met still show signs of high self-esteem and wonderful connectedness to a community or group. It contradicts that finding. So really, it doesn't explain, the second dot point is what I'm getting at, doesn't explain why higher needs are being met whilst lower ones are not in some individuals. And this is particularly true among, again, different cultures around the world. It's very biased towards Western culture and very biased towards first world countries in terms of being well-educated and obviously very male dominant. So it's not applicable. And again, it doesn't explain why higher needs are being met whilst lower ones are not in some individuals and third world countries. So it lacks a lot of generalizability and applicability. It also has been argued that self-actualization or maximum potential in a human being does look different for everyone. So again, no two people are the same. And the version of self-actualization, according to Maslow, that may look different for everybody. So often it's criticized that the hierarchy is seen as too restrictive. It doesn't actually take into account people's version of their own maximum potential being lower in the hierarchy or even extending past it. It also doesn't explain that a person may have every single need met, yet still be miserable or still have problems. It also doesn't take into account the fact that a lot of people won't actually have the opportunity to be self-actualized whatsoever. So it only applies to people that can be self-actualized, as I said before in another video, are 2% of the population, which means even though the idea behind the humanistic theory is a positive approach, it's seen as too restrictive in that only a very small amount of the people of the world's population can actually be self-actualized, which in itself is very, very negative and pessimistic. So it contradicts itself when talking about it and it being beneficial to large groups of people when it's too restrictive for that to actually happen in the world at the moment. So I hope this video was useful in terms of recapping the strengths and weaknesses of the humanistic theory, both Rogers and Maslow. Any questions? You know what to do. Let me know.